everyone, my name is Ginger of Tarot by Ginger, and I'm going to read the cards for the month of January 2022 for Cancer to start off with. And I'm going to start by pulling a card from the Roomie Oracle. Now, Rumi was a Sufi mystic who wrote many poems of love in devotion to the divine. It's sort of like the readings you might have read from the Psalms or the Song of Songs. So he wrote great, beautiful poems of love, of how it feels to be in love with the divine. So 2022, you know, and even now we need all the love we can get. So I'm going to start with one of those cards for Cancer. So please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And if you wouldn't mind hitting that notification bell, that way when you go into YouTube, you'll see when you have new videos from Tarot by Ginger. And I would really appreciate that. I have just called in my spirit guides and said my prayers for clear, concise messages for Cancer for the month of January 2022. So let's pull your Roomie Oracle card, Cancer. I have Divine Mother Manifests. 2022, you're going to see changes in manifestation around you. Manifestation is the outward appearance of our lives. So whatever is manifesting in your life is the outward appearance. The way you are with others, the car you drive, the house you live in, where you live, the apartment you live in, whatever. These are the manifestations of our lives, and it shows not just what we're thinking, but also how we feel about ourselves and how we feel about others. So, Divine Mother Manifests. Let's see. Beautiful. So it's card number 15. Yeah, manifestation things we're going to see. There's a consciousness change, and astrologically there's major changes. So I'm not an astrologer. I do learn a little bit about it as I go along, and astrology is a very complicated science, so I don't claim to be an astrologer. I have some astrology friends who help me out. All right, so Divine Mother Manifests. Oh, you living in the world of 6 directions, accept the gloom and accept the bliss. For those seeds buried in the ground will one day grow into fruitful orchards. Beautiful, and I'll read you a little bit of the book. We share her, this Divine Mother, you and I. We are her precious children. We are born through her love, and she shares in our losses and our gains, our tragedies and our triumphs. Her hair forms the galaxies. Her thoughts become the stars. The sun is her own warmth, and her breath is felt upon this earth, causing the roar of the ocean waves. Her voice is heard in the call of the whales and the trill of the birds. She is all, nurturing life into existence. She is in my reaching for you, and she is in your acceptance of my divine hand. She is all, this great lady. Nothing lies outside of her sphere of influence and power, compassion, and grace. That includes you and your dreams, great and small, my angel of love. Oh, that's giving me chills. That's beautiful. I love it. All right, so that is your Roomie card. And again, this month I'm going to use the Emerging Toronto Artists Oracle cards. I just like these cards because they seem to be really spot on, and they're not all big flourish, and they're pretty straight and to the point, and I think they're honest. So I'm going to pull 3 of these for you to get the energies for the month of January. For Cancer. I have Orenda, We'll find out what that means. Pretty funny looking, kind of eagle-y, kind of vulture looking bird, right? Orenda. Just because it's a vulture, we'll see what it means. Then we have this tree. I remember this from last time. That crown is for you. And then we have Queen Bee. Okay, so let's see what these cards mean. All right, Orenda is in alphabetical order. Okay, Orenda. Orenda is the Iroquois name for a spiritual energy inherent in people and their environment. It is believed to be present in nature. The wind, and particularly storms, are said to possess Orenda. A strong connection exists between prayer, song, and Orenda. The Iroquois Native Americans recognized Orenda as the force within all animate and inanimate natural objects, transmissible and capable of being exerted according to the will of its possessor. Orenda is a collective power of nature's energies. Wow. This card appearing in readings would signify great spiritual forces at play. Pay attention to the signals from the universe, the weather, environment, and the energy of the people and objects in your field. There are many clues within the elements surrounding you to aid your journey. For you, especially Cancer, you're very, the water signs are typically highly psychic. It's just the nature of the beast. So that is a beautiful energy to start with. And then the tree, I remember this, the tree card is about claiming this crown in this chair because it is for you. All right, let's see. Let me just read it for you. Okay. The tree card depicts a majestic and notably symmetrical tree acting as a throne for the crowned king of the forest. Toronto's famous Trinity Bellwood's white squirrel is tributed within the composition, along with a visual representation of the saying, "The apple doesn't fall far from the tree." In front of the tree stands a regal-looking red and gold chair occupied by a crown. The color red is emphasized in this artwork and can signify many things, from passion and fire to fury and blood. The crown in the chair seems to be too big for the squirrel. The oversized crown may represent his royal succession or the desire to take on more responsibilities or grow into a more powerful position. This card in readings may ask us to look at the hidden source of where power lies. Things that may appear small or insignificant may actually be the true rulers of the kingdom. That's interesting. And what came to mind as I was reading this was that in your work, pay attention to where the gossip comes from, and also pay attention to that person who holds the position of director or supervisor, who in meetings really doesn't say a lot, because they could be the people. So I'm feeling a negative aspect, I'm feeling a positive, because that director or supervisor could be the person who helps to get you promoted. Okay, so that's what I'm feeling about that one. And then Queen Bee. So watch out for those little nuances. They're really important to pay attention to in the business world. Okay, Queen Bee. This card depicts a proud woman with a stylized crown and a bee, dripping with honey atop her head. She resides in an ambiguous space interspersed with hexagonal patterns. These shapes are also reiterated in the cutouts of her veil to create unity within the composition. The artist associates this piece with security and confidence in one's position in life. In using a natural color palette of browns, yellows, and golds, Celine was hoping to convey the figure's warmth and power, her grounded mentality, and an overall sense of belonging, of being an integral part of a community. This piece was achieved by reworking an illustration with a similar concept, which had cool toned colors and sharper lines. She says, I found that the rigidity of the original piece failed to communicate ideas of the hive. When I thought of a hive, I thought of warmth and unification, which I sought to convey in Queen Bee. Well, that's beautiful, and I think that's also a great card for Cancer. I see Cancers as definitely being family oriented and people oriented. Um, people needing people, right? Are the happiest people in the world, as Barbara Streisand said. Okay, so those are the energies. You have a great spiritual power around you. Okay, so I'm going to say it's your guiding energy. So listen for that guiding energy like a spirit guide. Then we have the tree. And this is asking you, that crown may not be yours. However, it could be. It depends on how well you pay attention to the positive and negative forces in your world. Okay? That's what I'm going to say, because either one can make a difference in your life. You can receive a promotion or a demotion depending on which energies you need to pay attention to both energies, but according to which energy you feed into is what I want to say. And with these other cards surrounding it, I'm going to say that this month of January is going to be a really, you're going to feel like you fit in. You're going to feel like you are a part of. And not only are you a part of, but an integral part of the group. Whether it be family, work, your community, all three. Okay, and then the cards I'm going to be reading with tonight are the Forhixa. I looked up the pronunciation. Forhixa tarot by M.J. Cullinane, who did the Crow Tarot. And so let's get going with your reading. So again, I wasn't thinking I was going to do the Celtic Cross. What I think I'm going to do is lay 3 rows of 5 cards across. And it's not past, present, future, although it may turn out to be each row. It could be a number of things depending on what the columns could also have meaning. But I'm going to see what cards come out first, Cancer. And then that will determine past, present, future, or what the story is, what your story is for the month of January. All right. Now, Forhixa is Swedish, and it means like a fairy, a white witch sort of energy. Okay, so right off the bat, we have the Tower. Never fear. Never fear. Saint Germain always says never fear. We have the 9 of Water. That's a nice card. We have these all across. This is the first row across. The Wheel of Fortune. The Lovers. Wow, a lot of major arcana cards here in the first row. And the Moon. Whoa, that's pretty heavy duty. All right, the second row. I see this tower here. However, it looks like that tower is probably in your past. And I'm going to say more than a year in your past, Cancer. I'll explain what that means in a minute, because the cards that come after it are very bright. The next row, you have the Queen of Earth, which is the Queen of Pentacles. Beautiful. 2 of Cups, like the Lovers, 2 Lovers. 5 of Cups, which is loss. Loss of a loved one, loss of something we hold dear. Interesting, 5 of Wands. 5 of Fire is 5 of Wands. Very interesting. And then the Four of Cups, which is a possible missed opportunity. Possible, not necessarily. And I can understand why that might come up at that point. Okay. And then the last row. Ooh, we have the Magician. That is a powerful Magician. That is a beautiful card. We have the Magician. Let's see, we have to move these over a little bit. Okay, we have the Magician. You have a lot of major arcana cards here, Cancer. Justice. Wow. Wow, that's incredible. 10 of Wands. Carrying a heavy burden. And then the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups comes to save the day. So beautiful. What a beautiful Ace of Cups. And then the last card is Temperance. This is the card of Sagittarius. It's a beautiful, balanced energy. Lovely. This is a beautiful reading with some complications. It's just a couple of complications in there. You know, what would life be without complications? So the reading starts out with the Tower. And this is probably, you know, this is something that happened. It didn't make you very happy. It was meant either the change, having to find a new job, like losing your job. Could have been divorce, having to move. Could have been the loss of a person you held dear. It could have been the loss of a spouse or something like that. So something very difficult, a difficult situation. I'm going to say this was in the past, okay? And you knew it was coming because the Tower never comes. You always feel the ground rumbling before an earthquake, right? And that's what this is like for us. When we get the Tower, it signifies an event in our life that was kind of like an earthquake for us, okay? So because it came out first and because you have all of these cards following it, I'm going to say this happened a year or so ago. After that, we have the Nine of Cups. The Nine of Cups is the card of the self-made woman, a very, very, it could also be a self-made man. It's a feminine energy. That's all, you know, that's what this means. It's a feminine energy. So this is someone who made it to the top without having to dig her heels into anybody climbing the ladder below her. She is a beloved member of her community. She is very accomplished. Let's see, what do I want to say? She has graduated with her doctorate, or she, you know, became a doctor, you know, a medical doctor, something major, and long-term study. She could be a metaphysician. She could be a doctor of Oriental medicine, anything of that, but it was required long-term study. She's very accomplished, and because of her accomplishments, she's now a very fruitful person. And right now, she's just basking in the fact that she has completed these accomplishments and she's able to move on. It's major, major beautiful time in her life, or his life. All right. I have the Wheel of Fortune after that. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, you know, I often say when this shows up in a reading, you're on the upswing of the wheel. Life has its ups and downs, and you're on the upswing where you've been down. I've been down so long, you know. But this occurs, coming up on the upswing is not just a matter of fate. Tarot is not all about telling you what your fate is. You play a part in it. What is the footwork you're putting in? What are you desiring as an outcome in a certain situation? That is what the Wheel of Fortune is about. After an accomplishment like this, and after a tower moment, I'm going to say that right now, you are in the center of the wheel. It is moving upward, but you need a rest. You're in the center, just watching and observing, because right now you really need to rest. That's what I'm going to say for you, Cancer. Because on your horizon is not just one lover, but possibly two. This card I don't see as a long-term committed relationship. You see that there are three people here. This is the right when the Rider-Waite came out, the Smith-Coleman deck. When it came out, it was no longer a threesome. It was just two people. But this is an old story of, betrayal, right? Who is my lover going to pick, me or this other chick, So it's not, I don't see it as a long-term relationship, but just know that there is a relationship on the horizon, or perhaps it's a relationship you're in. I don't know if this one, I don't know if it's the relationship for you. You could be this person, or you could be this person. I believe that this is the lover. The one who gets to choose, I'm going to say, is this one. And it's either this person or this person. So there's a choice to be made. You're not the only one in that relationship. Now, I also see that as not necessarily love. It could be a business partnership. So perhaps you're in a business partnership and you need to pay attention to your partner, because either they want to bring somebody in, or maybe they're going to want to split off. That's possible. The moon follows that, so we don't really know the outcome yet. And this card is interesting because the moon is really asking you to take a good look. This fairy is looking in the water at her reflection, but she knows there's so much more under the surface. It's not just her reflection that she really needs to look at. She needs to look deep down inside and ask herself, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Why am I in a relationship where this is happening? So she sees that she has work to do. In the next row, I'm going to say that the first row is past and wrapping up now. And perhaps wrapping up now, because I see a lot of change coming in here. Yeah, probably wrapping up from the Lover's card on. We have the Queen of Earth. I'm going to say this is you. That you are the Queen of Earth, and that you are very abundant because you've done all of this really hard work. Okay? You did that in the past. You did that really hard work. And now you're reaping the benefits of the abundance that you were seeking by, you don't do this just because, I think I'll go get my doctorate. No, you don't do, it's not, because you have visions for your life. This woman has visions for her life. It's funny, in my tower group, one woman said, she could either be Mother Earth herself or a hedge fund manager. And I love that description of the Queen of Pentacles, because she is a manager, and she could be managing the property. She could be a property manager, or she could be a hedge fund manager. In either case, she's a humanitarian and cares for the people she's in service to. She does care. So when I see think of a hedge fund manager, what kind of securities is she hedging her bets on? Okay, so I'm saying that's you. See, I'm thinking that Lover's card is a business partnership of some kind, because this is the love that you're looking for. The Two of Cups are two people who see each other for who they are with no illusions. There are no illusions of who this person is to her or who this person is to her. They see each other for who they are and they love each other for who they are. So that's possibly a new love coming in your direction. These two cards, I feel like, are related to the Tower card. I feel like they're related to the Tower card and to this Lover's card. So, if we're looking at that Lover's card like it was a business relationship, I'm thinking the Five of Water is the loss. There's going to be a loss there. And I think it's if it hasn't happened, it's in the process of being cleaned up, because I think it's already happened. I think you already know it. And it may have kind of come out of left field, but I'm not real sure. And this card is an energy of fighting off people who are not on board with you. And in this picture, it's a woman, a fairy, fighting off snakes. And that's kind of why I feel as though these have to do with the Tower, the Lovers, and the not knowing yet, right? This not knowing yet what's going on, and knowing that you have to look at yourself because you attracted that relationship. So, and that's okay, because unless you make the mistake and learn from it, what's the point of the failure? Failure is something that teaches us. Failure is not a bad thing. It teaches us. So if you're learning the lesson, this is okay, but you may have a little court issue because that was a business partnership. And there is loss. I mean, you feel it in your heart. It's not just a monetary loss. You feel it in your heart. It was heartbreaking for you. And because of that situation, there's an opportunity coming your way that you may miss because you're so focused on being hurt, feeling hurt, and having to maybe get what your part is in that business relationship back, so that it belongs to you. You made an investment in that business, and if you're in court battling for that, which from the energy of this card, it won't be a big long battle. It's just an annoyance. You will get what is yours and be able to move along. But because of that, there's an opportunity being gifted to you, and you may lose it. So pay attention to what's in your area. Try to not live up in your head. Do your best to live in the moment, because these other things will certainly take care of themselves. You will be okay. All right? So there is a beautiful new gift coming your way. And if you're paying attention, guess what? The energy of the Magician is on your side. Now, this gift is from the divine or the universe. And as I recently heard, God, universe, spirit, Gus. So it's a gift from Gus. All right? Whatever you want to call it, it's a gift. And this is also a gift because it's a new phase, a whole new major phase in your life. And the Magician is an entity that manifests God's will on earth. So this is no small gift. And don't think you're doing it alone, because you've got divine help. It's just like this flower does not grow. You may have put the bulb in the ground and watered it, but why is the bulb growing? Not because you had anything to do with it, all right? This is happening not just with your ability of planting it and watering it, but also it's a divine thing. It's birth, right? You've got something new. And here's the Justice card. So Justice, her antlers here, the tree branches, signify her connection with the divine, that she is a divine being. She is blind here, although in the Rider-Waite, she's not blind. She's not. It's Justice is not blind. Justice makes its decision based on events that lead up to that decision. So, do you have consequences to bear? That's a question you need to ask yourself. Do you have consequences to bear? And if you do, you will need to pay for those consequences. And it looks like it may be a little bit of a burden on you. Maybe with that business partner, you didn't have the right documents in place, and that would be a consequence. And it may place a burden on you for a little while. But you know what? You're smart now, and you know better. And so you're not going to let that happen again. And maybe for right now, it's a little bit of a burden, but this is who you are. It's not going to be a heavy burden for long, okay? Following that, this is beautiful. You have the Ace of Cups. This is brand new love, brand new opportunity, the Magician, and brand new love. Now, the Ace of Cups can mean marriage or new love that leads to marriage, can be an engagement, can be the passion of your heart. So the work that you put all this effort into to be able to do, because it is you're putting your love into the world through this work. So this is a brand new opportunity coming your way. It is as though, I feel the presence of that dove right now in this reading. It's as though the dove comes, it's signifying your freedom, the freedom you feel, because you are now unencumbered by betrayal, by people who you thought were being true to you and honest and upright. By being able to do this beautiful work that you love to do, the opportunity of brand new love coming in. So I love this card. And then the final card is the Temperance card, which really does mean hope and balance. There's balance. And I feel that, the star is the card of hope, but I feel like you know who you are. Look at this. You're standing in your power, and you know who you are. And this is such a beautiful card to end with. So that is your reading for January, Cancer. It is really a lovely, beautiful energies here. Powerful, intelligent, a lot of learning that you have done and continue to do. It's as though January 2022 will be a time where this gets all cleaned up. It gets cleaned up, and new beautiful, wonderful things are coming your way. And as far as the these cards, this is the energy of powerful spiritual presence around you. Paying attention, right, to who's around you, right? That's this card, the Lovers, the business person, or whatever. Maybe it was a relationship, but being betrayed. So this is showing that you need to pay attention. We all need to pay attention. Who are we aligning ourselves with? And are they being honest with us? And then standing in your power. And that is what you end up doing. You know who you are, and you're an important member of the community. So, I hope you enjoyed your reading. I did. And I will see you soon, because I'm going to be doing the readings for the first quarter of 2022 next week. So, enjoy. Okay, have a great day. Bye-bye.